What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV. You know I like to go to Baltimore. We had the white dude on the other day from Baltimore, got a black dude on from Baltimore, been some serious places, done some serious shit, experienced the Federal Bureau of Prisons on all levels, including the SMOOth program. But C, tell the people who you are, where you're from, and let's talk about you.
My name's C. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore City to be exact. I'm from East Baltimore to be exact. I grew up in Baltimore, average struggle, average hood stuff, jumped into the streets. Grew up, maintained my good life. I had a kind of a good life, you feel me? I would say a good life. Even though, my prison circumstances and, the outcomes of that. But shit, since I've been home, I've been doing pretty good. I've been out the way, man, just working out the way. Out the way.
Better than being in prison, just stay out the way, right?
It's way better than being in prison, 1,000% better. So,
It's like this,
how it goes, man.
You said you kind of had a good life, right? What was Baltimore like growing up in Baltimore? What was your life like?
I mean, Baltimore is the worst of the worst, though, man. But it's what you make it. It's really what you make it for real. You got working class people here. You got poverty here. You got the slums here and all that. But it's about what type of family you got, what type of family you was raised around, your peoples, your morals and principles. I mean, if your dad or your mom was in your life, I know I had my mom. I didn't have my dad. My dad went to prison for 14 years as well, federal prison. So, I mostly had my mom, but she provided for us. She made sure we was good when I was younger, So, I had a pretty all right life. It wasn't fucked up. I can't say that. It wasn't messed up, but it was okay. Baltimore is okay. People look at it like a bad place and a bad experience and this, that. It's a lot of good things to Baltimore, too. I love my city.
Good and bad things in all places. But, I think a lot of people think about when they hear Baltimore, they immediately go to the heroin, they go to the Wire. I used to see the Wire back in the day, and, they think that all Baltimore is like that. But it's not all like that.
Right? Majority of it is, like I said, majority parts of the city it is. You got East Baltimore, West Baltimore, South Baltimore. It's really no northwest, you would say. That's like the Park Heights area. It's a good area to that side too, So like I said, it's a good and bad throughout the whole city. But I don't look at it as all like just bad. I'm just used to it. I'm from here. I grew up here, all around the city. I'm from Baltimore, literally.
Man, it's your city. It is what it is. When you start, how old are you when you first start getting in the streets? Because eventually you end up in, I think, state prison and federal prison.
Yes,
how old
sir.
are you when you first get involved in the streets?
I would say about 12, 13. 12, 13, yeah.
What makes a 12 or 13-year-old kid get involved in the streets? What are you doing? You selling dope at 12, 13?
Yeah, I don't feel like I had the right guidance then. When you young and a kid, I used to look for I used to look for back then, for acceptance, or not necessarily acceptance, but I used to do things in the hood. I used to hang around a lot of older guys. So that being said, I used to hang around them and do things that they would do that I think that they would think was cool, Try to impress them, and hang around them, made them feel like I was worthy of hanging around them, So that's what I used to do. I wouldn't say more of a follower because I leaded my own crowd. I had my own crowd that I ran with too, like people that was my age, but I hung around more so older dudes. So I picked up from them. I always was around them and doing what they did,
Who were your role models? These cats, right? What were they? Drug dealers? Were they robbers? Who were your role models? What were they?
More so drug dealers, hustlers. They was drug dealers, hustlers. That's what I grew up around, family of hustlers.
So you're 12, 13 years old. You're growing up around a bunch of hustlers. You start selling dope at 12, 13 years old?
At 12, 13 on Colleton Avenue. Colleton Avenue. We had this building called the Carter. And that's where it started. Yeah, that's where it started. I felt like I needed some money. I wasn't getting the right type of attention at home with my mother being a single mother in Baltimore. She had 2 jobs. She worked a lot, so I was always home a lot. My cousins lived with us, so I mean, we was always getting into stuff. And then on the weekends, I would go over my brother's and my sister's house. And they used to live like in all parts of the city. Like that's how I got so familiar with the city. They used to move, like I would say, every 45 to 90 days probably. So they live here, then they would move here, then they would move here, then they would stop moving for about a year or two, and we would have some type of name around in that area. Then we will move again, and I just always was with them. 15, I had a child. 13, I hopped off the porch. 15, I had a child. So you got to think about it. I was out there. Stuff was moving quick.
Ask you this. You said your mother provided for you. She was working, taking care of the kids. When mama found out the first time you were selling dope, man, what was that interaction like? Because the mother always finds out. Was she on you like, yo, or was she like, hey, you got to do what you got to do?
Of course she was on my ass. Like, excuse my language. Of course she was on me, though. What mother wouldn't be? I remember the first time she found some, I walked in the house, she found some grass, and she smelt it. She knew something was up. I had just got done smoking. I was like in middle school or whatnot. And I'm walking in with my backpack, go in the kitchen, grab some snacks, and she smell it on me. Once she smell it, I put my backpack down. She get the smelling around. She go straight to my backpack, open my backpack up, grab a zip of marijuana from out of there. And she like, what's this? Where you get it from? This, that. I'm like, somebody, I got it from somebody. I got it. It's mine. This, that. She like, what you doing with it? I'm like, I'm selling it. This, that. She like, you're not supposed to have this shit in my house. This, that. She went right upstairs, flushed it down the toilet, man. Flush it down the toilet. Now, so she said, if it's somebody else's, get them to come talk to me because you shouldn't be bringing this in my house. And that's just what it was. But we always had our little tug of war back then. We had our tug of war back then. But what brought us closer together is around that time, I would say a little bit after that. My little sister, she was born. My little sister was on the way. My mom had got pregnant. And as a kid, I was just out there. And then eventually I had a child on the way while she was pregnant. She came to me like, Calvin, we can't do this together, this, that. But she ain't know that I got a child on the way too. So the whole time, I'm like, damn, how I'm going to tell her that I got this baby on the way? You feel me? Because she got my little sister. There's 2 responsibilities that we add into the family now. So I'm like, damn, I got to hustle even harder now. I just got to get my money up. I wound up getting put out my mom's house and stayed with my daughter's mom permanently. Like, I was staying with them permanently. Then we got our own spot. I was like 16, 17. And ever since then, it was just on. It was on.
Let me ask you this, right? You had talked about your father doing 14 years in federal prison. So you don't have a father figure in the house. You're out in the streets. You're running around. Your role models are the drug dealers and the dudes out there getting money.
Right.
What was your father in prison for?
He was in prison for drugs, racketeering. It wasn't racketeering. It was a conspiracy, if I'm not mistaken. A drug conspiracy, if I'm not mistaken.
How old were you when your father went to prison?
I was probably 4 or 5. I was young.
4 or 5 years old. Your father gets a boatload of time. You going up to the federal prison to visit him when you're a youngster?
Yeah, and the crazy part is some of them same prisons I went to when I was a kid, I went to USP Canaan as an adult. repeated cycle, like, and the shit just, it was a reality check. It was a flash. Like when I walked in that Canaan visitor room and I looked at how familiar it looked, it felt like deja vu. It was crazy. Like, it was crazy.
Crazy that you were on this visiting room visiting your father, right? And now I'm going to assume, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Now you end up on this same visiting room as an adult, and your child's mother's bringing the baby to see you on the visits, or
No,
not?
my mom, actually, my mom, my grandma, my family, my daughter, things of that nature.
It's just
This,
crazy how that. It's just
this was
crazy
the
how that
ending of my
cycle is.
bit. Yep. It's crazy how it happened. It's crazy how it happened.
You also did some time in the state first, though, right?
Yeah, I did some time in the state. I really did some time. This was my first, like, this was my first conviction. I went fed when I was like 21. Like, I went to prison when I was 21. I got locked up. During, I would say, like, around 2020, I would say around 2014, I went to prison. 2013, I went to jail. That's two different things. 2012, I went to jail. That's two
Yes,
different
it is. When you went to jail, where were you, in the Baltimore County Jail, Baltimore City Jail down there?
Baltimore City Jail. Still side is called Still side is shut down now. I closed it down. I was over there when they shut it down. The Baltimore City Jail.
It like in that Baltimore City Jail? Pretty wild place, BGF all over the place. Dudes are banging the chicks, having kids with them, dope coming in. What's it like, man? You tell. You were there. You tell us.
If you can survive there, you can survive anywhere. That's like the motto for real. That's the worst of the worst. That's the trenches. That's where it get ugly at. And if you ain't no man, if you ain't standing on 10, that's where it's gonna tell. That's where it's gonna get out at.
Talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. BGF. Were you affiliated with them dudes?
Yeah, that's what I caught my case over. That was my case. That was my racketeering case. My racketeering case was involved with that. It was 14 of us on the case. Uh, Four guys wound up telling. Uh, Four guys wound up telling, and 10 of them stood solid. 10 of them stood solid, and one of them, I mean, got X'd out because he wound up doing some fuck shit. We wound up finding out what he did later on down the line. We had to X him out, but yeah, that's what it was.
He holds it down, and then later on, you got to X him out. What did he do that caused him to be X'd out?
We wound up finding out he was molesting his stepdaughter. He was molesting his stepdaughter. We found out while we had already caught out time. He was down Polop. And you know how the politics is, because we got to get him up off the yard. He got to go. I was in Beaumont, and I was in the SMU at this time. They told me this. So I got a kite. A kite is a little letter that you go from jail to jail, or we can send emails through to different jails, and get the word out. Once that word get out, that's it.
They X'd him out. I mean, how did they just told him, hey, you just got to leave, or they put them hands on him?
He got stabbed up. He got stabbed up down there, if I'm not mistaken, by somebody in the car. Like I said, I wasn't down there. I wasn't present at the time. I wound up hearing that he got stabbed, and shit, after that, he wasn't on Baltimore time no more. He wasn't on DMV time. So it's different cars. The DMV cars together and the feds. So he wasn't on Baltimore time no more. He wasn't on DC, Maryland, Virginia, none of that. He did whatever he did after that. I don't know. He probably on a PC yard. I'm not sure where he at.
Let's talk about that BGF indictment. It's a conspiracy or RICO, whatever it is. I mean, where did it stem from? Was it from the county jail? Was it from the street? What happened in that indictment?
This was from the streets. Actually, the one person that started the indictment, that brought everybody together, actually told on us. He told on everybody, and it was people from all different places of the city. Like, I was in one part of the city. It was people in another part of the city. It was people in Baltimore County. I didn't even know that was on my indictment, that ended up on my indictment. And it was just like people that I met one time, that ended up on my indictment. That's why conspiracy can be a motherfucker, man. Like, you can not know a person or say the wrong thing to a person or they take it the wrong way, something like that, and you in a whole indictment.
Let me ask you this, right? You said a couple of the dudes folded. Did you know any of the dudes that folded? Were you close to any of them at one point in your life?
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah, three of them actually. Shit, three of them.
So let me ask you this, right? Three of your people that you kick it with, you're close with, they tell on you. What's it feel like for you, man? You're like, damn, man, so and so, told on me, man. How's that feel in your mind and in your heart?
It was messed up because before the allegations even came out about this one guy, uh, I'ma just throw out a nickname, Vito. Before the allegations came out on this guy, he was a good guy. He was a close friend. I was with him every day. I wouldn't say my right hand man, but a close friend, a close associate. And he was older than me, so I was getting game from him. I was picking up game, this, that. But I guess he envied me from my hustle or just whatever. I'm not sure what it was, but he was doing a whole lot of backdoor activities that I didn't know that came out of my paperwork later on down the line, and it just hurt. It just hurt when you see like you showing love to a person and they mess you over quick. They throw you under the bus. They do anything to you. They don't got the same love.
Let me ask you this. You're out there on the block. You might have been out there. You say you're with the dude every day. You're out there on the block. This is one of the dudes that you're probably thinking in your mind, like, if the ops show up, he's got me. We got each other. You're willing to kill for him. He's willing to kill for you. But in the end, he's willing to kill you in the courtroom.
And that's what he did do. He made statements, wrote statements. Shit, he had a Fed case that the feds grabbed him. We ain't even know about that. Ain't had nothing to do with us. That he was just telling on, and he added more information that we found out with our case. And like I say, it was an ugly situation, man. It was an ugly situation.
Good to touch on the street shit too, not just what happened once you got to prison. We talk about what leads you to prison, right? One of your right hand mans, maybe not the closest one, but close to you. He lines you up. How much time do you end up getting sentenced to?
I got sentenced to, for that case, 75 months, but I had state time before that as well. This is how the feds get you. They indicted me on all my state counts as well. So all them times that I spoke about getting locked up in 2012, 2011, 2013, they was all miscellaneous drug charges and just petty charges. They threw all my drug charges and stuff in my indictment. So that's how the feds do. They dropped all my state stuff. So I sat in the state for 2 years, then had to go to the feds and do my 75 months.
So really, you do what? What do you do, about 9 years, 8-9 years straight?
No, I did like 7. I did 7 from 2014 to 2021. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your first prison? What's the first prison you go to as far as the feds go?
Beaumont, USP.
Is Beaumont popping at the time when you get there?
The bloody Beaumont. That's what I was hearing in the bullpen when I went to Oklahoma. I'm young at this time. I don't know what to think about prison. This is my first time going to prison. Like, I don't know what to think. And I'm talking to these older dudes. I'm in Oklahoma. It's a transit in Oklahoma that you have to get on when you enter the Federal Bureau of Prisons if you're getting transferred to a prison across state. So they telling me about Beaumont. They telling me how this happened and how that happened and this, that. So I'm just like, damn, what it's going to be when I get down here. Good thing they sent me down there with one of my co-defendants. We get on the bus together. We get on the plane together. We get down there together. It's nothing but love. DC dudes show us nothing but love as soon as we walk in the unit. Baltimore dudes embrace us. A homie named DJ, the homie Black Jerry, Black Jerry, a legend in the face too. Uh, they straight embrace it, show us love as soon as I get there. And things was cool on the yard. Everything was cool. Everything was rocking at this time. Like it wasn't no real tension, but you can tell it was a penitentiary. A lot, the respect level, it was there. It was militants there. Shit. A lot of things. It was different from jail. I tell you that it was different from that city jail. Whole different ball game.
Walked in there a young man. Let me ask you this though, because you're from Maryland. Maryland, DC dudes usually kick it pretty tough, depending on where you're at. But for the most part, they kick it pretty tough. Do you think you feel a little more safer being that you're from Baltimore than like some dude that shows up from Oklahoma or some white dude from Minnesota? Do you feel like, we got some people here, we're good, power in numbers, right?
I mean, it's power in numbers, but anyway, they send me, I'ma stand on my own too. I'ma stand on my own too, Chad. Like anyway, they send me, it don't matter. Like, and just because of who I am, like as a man, I ain't going for it. So I mean, power in numbers, but sometimes you ain't gonna have them numbers. And you gotta stand on your own too. You gotta answer that shit. Or you gotta go on themselves. And the feds is mad time. We ain't gonna move off numbers sometimes. I ain't with that. Like I'm gonna move on my own too. Like that car stuff can get tricky because somebody can do something in the car that you disagree with. Now you putting your life on the line for something you don't stand for. And I ain't with that.
You get to Beaumont. How long does it take before you get a knife? Do you carry a knife there?
Yeah. Had multiple knives.
How long
Probably
before you get your first knife, though?
my first knife, probably like 30 days because I had to get cleared. You get cleared. Cleared means your paperwork gotta get checked. You feel me? Make sure you ain't no rat. So you got 30 to 60 days to get your paperwork on the yard. Uh, you get your paperwork, you're gonna get a knife. One of your homies gonna give you a knife or shit. You're gonna find your way. You're gonna get you a knife.
Do you keep a knife on you at all times, or you just hide it in the unit? Do you carry it to chow? How's the whole knife game work in federal prison? I mean, I know, but
I mean,
people watching might not know.
I would keep mine on me at all times. And the only reason I say that because anything can happen at any time in a federal prison. Like anything. I done seen all types of stuff happen, like the craziest stuff. So I keep mine on me at all times. And even if it ain't no metal knife, I'm gonna keep a little plastic one on me just cause to get through the metal detector or whatever. I'm gonna stay with a knife.
You keep a floater on you when you're moving around.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. You ever sit in a room, in the day room, right? You're watching TV, got your back to the wall, and the police come in, they just start telling, hey, stand up, let me pat you down real quick. You ever seen that happen?
You do it all the time. That's the chance you gotta take though. That's just like on the street carrying a gun. That's the chance you gotta take. If I'm in the street, I'd rather be caught with it than without it. That's the
I wish
motto.
you wouldn't have said that yet, but go ahead. You're good.
That's,
You'd rather be caught with it than without it in a place like Beaumont and Pollock and Big Sandy and Hazleton.
yes, sir. They USPs, that's a penitentiary. And it, I didn't think people not playing fair. Them white boys not playing fair. The Mexicans not playing fair. Shit, even my own race, the blacks, they ain't playing fair. So you know how it go.
So now you're over there in Beaumont, right? You end up going to the SMOOT program. Do you go to the SMOOT program from Beaumont?
Yeah. I sat in the hole for like 9 months. I was fighting my shot back there. Uh, my shot was a difficult shot. They was trying to send me back to the yard. The homies and shit, even the DC homies was pushing to get me out. Texas dudes was pushing to get me out. But shit, Beaumont didn't want me. They kicked me out. They sent me to the smoke.
Let's talk about why you end up going to the hole and why you end up in Beaumont. What happens?
All right, so shit. One day, it's this. We had like I would say two big homies, one from Baltimore, one from DC, same unit, and like they know how only a DC and a Baltimore dude would know how it can get sometimes. I didn't seen the back and forth for the tension or just whatever, like and. They was cool. They was two respectable big homies. This, that. This day, it was just off. Shit was just off. And my big homie told me, like, see, Pep Bob, you got your knife on you good? This, that. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He like, you going out for rec? I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay in this rec move. He like, all right, I'm gonna stay with you too. Now, this my co-defendant. He an older, respectable member. So we don't go out on a rec move. 45 minutes go past, hour go past, they coming back in, the DC dudes coming back in, the OT coming back in. Then we was just dealing with some politics on the yard from something. I'm not sure what it was, the exact problem, but we was just dealing with some politics. So when they come back in the yard, I straight see the DC dude come holler at my old head. They talking in the cell. 2 minutes later, I hear rumbling. Grrr, grrr, grrr. So we all run over there to see what's going on. Now, it's about 7 DC dudes in this unit at this time, and it's only 3 Baltimore dudes. You might as well see 2, me and my co-defendant. It's an older Baltimore dude named Robert Earl. He respectable, but he really ain't. He ain't on nothing. He an older dude. He chilling. And I respect that. I respect that. And so we see him rumbling or whatever. Excuse me. We see him rumbling or whatever. We step in the cell, break it up like, ho, what's going on? What's going on? This, that. So they just going back and forth. And this time, the police see the commotion. They hit the code. Boom. They hit the code. Police come flying up on the unit. 20 police up on the unit. Now they over by themselves trying to find out what's going on. My old head got his shirt off. He had just passed me the knife in the crowd, though, his knife. So I put his knife in my pocket. Police pull him over to the side, like, what's going on? This yourself, what's going on? He like, nothing, we was just horse playing. This, that, we was just horse playing. They pull a DC dude to the side because he's right there with him. He got his shirt off, too. They both breathing hard. So police talking to him, patting him down. He got him on the cell, patting him down. He got the other dude on the other side. So I spin off, and I'm by the steps. I'm like, man, I gotta go put these knives up. They about to search everybody. It's 20 police on its head. So as soon as I go to my cell, I get a knife to my celly. As soon as I get a knife to my celly, I leave out. I hear skirt, skirt, skirt. I look down. I see one of the DC dudes running across the day room. I see the police chasing after him. So I run out my cell. I'm running down the steps. I'm right by the top of the steps though. I see one of the DC dudes stab my co-defendant, my big homie. Boom, he stabbed him. So when he stabbed him, he like turned around. I'm running down the steps. I straight hit him. As soon as he tried to stab him again, boom. I hit him. I'm fighting him. I'm fighting him. He swing the knife again. He wound up hitting me in my shoulder. I'm still squaring up with him. Police is on its head this time. Police, get down, get down, get down. They mace him, bust a mace him, mace me. I'm like, man, I ain't getting down because I seen him. He swung the knife the second time when I was getting ready to hit him again. And I wound up jumping back. I got a little wound right here. But he hit me right here. He just nicked me right here. But he hit me right here in my shoulder. So they telling me to get down, get down, get down. I'm like, I ain't getting down because I know this dude just had a knife in his hand. I ain't getting down. So they forced me to the ground. They forced me to the ground, locked me up. Mace, whatever. I don't even see that I'm hit. I don't feel it or nothing. So they tell me, like, hey, you hit this, that, but like, oh. All right, my co-defendant, I ain't even worried about me. My co-defendant, he got hit real bad. Like, he got hit. Why his back was turned? While the police was talking to him, one of the DC dudes ran up on him and stabbed him in his back twice. Boom, boom, then ran. You feel me? Ran. The police started chasing after him. Police wound up tackling him. Another DC dude came from out. Now they didn't even get this order from their big homie. They just did it because they seen them two fighting. That was it. You feel me?
Ask you
So
this. Let me ask you this though. When your big homie gets hit, you turn around, you hit the other cat, the one that stabs him. You're
right.
fighting with him. Is he able to help you now, or are you just on your own working with dude while he's
Nah,
got a knife?
he bleeding out. It's a puddle of blood. He great collapse. Now, when I look back over, he collapsed by the awning board, bleeding out. Like I'm down, getting locked up with mace in my eyes. I look up, I see him bleeding. They giving him medical attention. So he not able to help me. He out. He down. He down on the ground. It's just me and the one DC dude with the knife. That's who I'm fighting. You feel me? Like I say, I ain't even realize he had hit me because all I seen was him hitting him. I ran downstairs and hit him. As soon as I hit him, it stunned him so much he backed up and slung the knife. He slung the knife and hit me in my shoulder. Hit me in my shoulder. Boom. Hit me in my shoulder right there. I try to swing again. When I try to swing again, he tried knit me. That's when I seen the knife. Now these bone crushers, these knives that I done made with this same person, we done sat in this cell for hours making these knives. You feel me? We done ate together and all that. So I know how sharp these knives is. So when I seen it, I just backed up. I'm like, oh, backed up a little bit. Like, damn, this bitch got a knife. You feel me? I ain't even know he was stabbing him. I just seen him hit him for real. You feel me? I just seen him attacking him. That's why I went to his aid. Like, and shit. Yeah.
Easily lost your life right there. He could have hit you in the heart, right? I mean, I'm sure you've seen some people die in there, right?
Yeah, he could have hit me in the heart when he poked me right here in my solar plex. You know, that's what they see your heart at. I got marked right there, but it ain't even penetrate me for real. Like I was so amped up, my adrenaline was rushing. I ain't feel the first stab wound. The only thing that I really felt was that mace for real. That mace was a motherfucker. They
What are they
emptied
beefing
out
about
the
though? I mean, you guys are all kind of in the same car. You ride together.
that's why I said it was some in-house politics shit. It was ego shit. Who got the most money and who this, who that. It was some kid petty shit. It didn't need to happen because when we went to the hole, they got back cool. You know how the officers is. They put us in a cage next to each other and they put us in the cage. We talked it up. Man, we trying to go back to the yard, man. We trying to go back to the yard. That shit ain't even mean to happen. Like our homies was pushing to get all of us out. Like we wasn't divided after that. Like I got sent to the smooth. And the funny story is, when I got sent to the smooth, I wound up on the same tier as the dude Mike. I'm gonna tell you about that. And the crazy part, how the tables turned, he was in a fucked up situation and he tried to call on me for help. I couldn't help him though.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute because you said everybody was cool again when they got back on the tier or whatever. How the fuck you get cool with a dude that tries to kill you, man? How can you be cool with that dude ever again?
Yeah, it wasn't that we was cool. It wasn't that we was cool because like the dudes that stabbed my big homie, we wasn't cool with them. Don't get it twisted. Them two, the two big homies though, they talked it out. They got to understand it because they did nothing before it. They didn't get shots. They didn't get no tickets, no write-ups, no nothing. No programs, no nothing. I got the disciplinary shot because they said I was the aggressor. I went to help him. They told me I shouldn't have inserted myself in it because the BOP don't got no self-defense law. So they don't care if he was getting ready to die or whatever. Like they was going to help him. I shouldn't have helped him though. That's what they was telling me.
This is the reality, right? I've been stabbed in federal prison. I got stabbed in Lee County.
Okay.
And, I fought back, right? Took the knife from the dude, whatever. But
Okay.
there is no self-defense. So really, if you don't want to get rolled up, you just got to stand there and let a dude stab the shit out of you. You might live, you might die. These people are
Right.
out of their minds, right?
Right. They lost their mind. You absolutely right.
Now you're in the smooth program, so people know you're pretty much locked in the cell, man, for 2 years, like solitary confinement.
Oh,
Sometimes you got to cellie a lot of cases. Tell them a little
but
bit about it.
But let me answer your question. They wind up so you know how politics is in the feds, and so they wind up talking about it. They wind up trying to get us pushed back to the yard. Long story short, they like, nah, I got that. See, I had it wasn't no public safety valve. It was security threat group, STG. I had that on my file according to my case when I was young coming in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Because my case was a high profile case, I could only go to penitentiaries. I can only go to certain places. I can only have a black box on certain things. They put requirements and restrictions on you. So I had to stay in Beaumont for 9 months in a hole to wait for transfer, like to go to another lockdown program. This was a lockdown program for going to help somebody. You feel me? For going to say, and then he went out to an outside hospital. My co-defendant, my big homie, he went to an outside hospital. The doctor told him this was 2 centimeters away from your lung. That kid saved your life. Like, you gotta thank him. That kid saved your life, man. He came back, said, nephew, the doctor says you saved my life. He was my celly. He wound up getting transferred before me. He got transferred. And like I said, he didn't get a shot. The dude from DC, the two dudes that had started over didn't get in trouble at all. They just went to the hole. You see what I'm saying? So the dude that wound up stabbing him, the little young DC dude, he wound up going to the smooth program. I wound up going to the smooth program. The other dude wound up going to the smooth program. You see what I'm saying? Just 3 of us.
Dude that stabbed you, who was that? Was that Mike?
Yeah, the dude Mike.
Let's talk about Mike, man. You said he got jammed up over there in the smooth program and he called on you for assistance. What happened?
Yeah, the funny thing was, so you know how I can get in a smooth program, like the cells are so small in there. So first, if you in a cell with another grown man, that's you're gonna have a problem with that. And it's a small space, like you don't got enough space to move around. You in prison already, waking up in prison, so you just might have a problem with your celly, or like I wouldn't say have a problem, but you might not be in the best of moods that day. You see what I'm saying?
It's hard to live with someone in a bathroom. That's
What
plain
I'm
and
trying
simple.
to say.
You could be
That's what
best friends and be like, damn, bro, I'm getting tired of this motherfucker.
Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to say. So on this particular day, I noticed already. It's this dude named Dre from PG County. Good man. That's Mike Sully. They having problems. They going back and forth. They having problems in the cell. Now he knew that Mike was down Beaumont with me, because I guess he's telling them what happened down Beaumont with me. So Dre is just soaking it up. Listen, Dre is my workout partner. He's been to the city jail. He's been to the county jails. He's been all around. This is one of them type of dudes that's been locked up everywhere when he was younger and older. So this is my workout partner. We working out behind the door. When we go to rec, we working out. This one day, they get to disagreeing on something, fussing. So Mike get to calling me out the door like, "Hey, C, yeah, what we doing this down there, down Beaumont, and this, that, what we doing that?" I said, "Bro, don't put me in y'all conversation, bro. This, that ain't got nothing to do with me." But 10 minutes later, you hear all types of banging. Now these stills is all metal, like it's like you in a tin can, so you can hear everything that's going on right next to you, right across the hall, right down the hall. Shit, you can hear it. So the dude Dre whipping his ass, and he whipping him. So he yelling out. He wound up knocking him out. He yell out, "Hey, see this, that. Didn't you say this nigga this bit pop on this, that?" Boom! Just keep hitting him. He wound up tying him up. He tie him up for the rest of the night. See, now with the smooth, you take showers like every other day. They got you on the schedule. It's not every day. And then you only take showers like in the morning, or you might come out in the evening, and just that one side. Your cell might come out in that morning or that night, just that one side. So Dre wound up sitting up all night drinking his Mike coffee. He drank a whole bag of coffee. And he told him, once you go to the door and cuff up for showers, tell him you don't want to come back in here. After I untie you, if you try something, he said, I'm going to kill you in here. I'm gonna make sure I kill you. But in that time, while he was beating or while he was tied up, Mike calling over to me like, "See, bruh, tell him this, that, bruh, this, that, this. Tell him, nah, bruh, tell him I ain't do this, tell him I ain't do that." And I'm just like, man, I can't save you, buddy. I cannot save you. I can't help you.
You got him tied up in the cell. He's tied up and calling for help.
He tied up, Carnival. Like he tied up. I seen him tied up. I'm right across from. So I'm right across from. I'm looking in the cell. Dre stayed up all night drinking that coffee, man. All night drinking his
Hey,
coffee.
this cat stabbed you, right? How's it feel to look over in that cell and see that he's tied up? He stabs you. He ends up in the smooth program, calling you for help. You're looking over at him like, yeah, you got what you was looking for now. How's it
I
feel?
mean, that's just what it was. The tables was turned. I know. If he wouldn't have did that dumb stuff, we wouldn't even be in that situation. If he wouldn't have acted off impulse, because the other dude ain't tell him do it, we wouldn't be in that situation. That probably wouldn't have never happened. They'd have probably fought or and called it that or just whatever. I don't know, but that wouldn't have happened. You feel me? But long story short, when he wound up going to the showers, coughing up, he went to the shower. They asked Dre, "You want to shower?" He's like, "Nah, this, that. I ain't leaving out myself because I don't want him to try to pull no trick moves and this, that." He like, "Nah." So I would say lunchtime coming, they bringing the trays. I'm in a lockdown program. They bringing the trays. It's like 4 officers that hit the tier though. They just pop my door. They usually cuff you up before they pop your door. They pop my door. My door straight open. It's SIS. That's like intel. That's like jail police. They what's another name for SIS? Like intel, right?
Yeah, special investigations. It's
Special
the cops that
investigations
release the
in the
cops,
prison.
release the prison.
So Mike wound up telling special investigations that everything about me, what I am, shit, what I done did down Beaumont. I mean, shit that don't even got nothing to do with his situation. He got into it with that man for being with that man in himself. They got into it for their own shit. He made it try to seem like he had a green light or a light on his head or something. Man, the shit was so crazy, man. And I'm just like, yo, the way people like twist words around, like, or try to make something seem that it's not, like, man, nah, that ain't that. That ain't that.
So all that tough guy shit went out the window. Him wanting to run around, stab
Went
people.
right, I
Now,
guarantee you, right now he's on a PC yard. He's on a dropout yard right now.
time
He
did he have? How much time did Mike have when he's running around stabbing
he
people?
got life right now. He got life. He got life.
A long road
And
with a
then
life
the
sentence.
crazy part is the dude that he did the stabbing for, he home right now. Feet up. He home. The DC dude, he home right now. Real shit.
Got a life sentence. Going to be a long life sentence for a cat like that, huh?
Yeah, but he was always one of them type of people that he was a yes man. He was a yes man. You could tell Mike to do anything and he'd do it like for real. He just wanted he didn't have nobody out on the outside world. So that's all he had. That prison shit. That's all he knew. So once he
Prison.
seen somebody that he thought was loyal to him and he dedicated his loyalty to him and look what it cost him.
You know, I say this, right? A lot of dudes in prison, man. That's their life. Prison politics, man. I ain't got nothing else going on in the street, so I'm gonna be involved in everything in here. You know, you see a lot of dudes. I used to joke around and say, that dude's in everything but a good man's arms, right? Or that dude's in everything but a coffin.
Right.
Some of these dudes are just off the chain. So the Smooth program, what's it like for you though, mentally and emotionally? Because there's been numerous lawsuits. People have lost their mind being in there. People have been, violently.
I had an active lawsuit. That's what I was trying to get in touch with my lawyer. I had an active lawsuit on them. When they was just the living conditions there, it's horrible. It's horrible. They had multiple lawsuits. I done seen some horrible stuff. I done seen to where as though they didn't hit the tail. You might have been fussing with them for. They might have given you a short breakfast tray that morning. Hey, look, man, all my breakfast wasn't on my tray. I'm just saying, can I get my breakfast? And this, that, this, that. They'll wait till lunchtime. See you on the cell by yourself. wait till lunchtime, act like they get ready to feed you, open up your slot, finish feeding everybody else, walk past, stop fighting, stop fighting, stop fighting. Bust the mace in the cell. You in there by yourself. Who you fighting? And close the slot and walk away. Now you coughing, it's macing yourself. I didn't seen that particular thing done to somebody in a smooth program.
I knew a dude that got jumped on, a white dude that was over there, right? And they pretty much, man, just destroyed this kid, kicked his head in. He's like, he's drooling now, wiping his arm, wiping his hand on his face. What's one of the worst things you've seen happen, in the time that you were at the Smooth, man?
At the smooth, probably about somebody getting their ass whipped in cuffs, like bucking in cuffs. They suit up, go in the cell, beat him, drag him out of there. Like, and he can't do nothing. He already maced. He's cuffed. They done threw the bombs in there. Once they throw them bombs or shoot them bombs in them set, man, it's over with. Some people think they can take them, and I done seen some people try to take them, get the mattress, put the mattress up to the door, and they got the green team recording outside the door and all that, man.
Come
Nah,
on, prisoner on prisoner violence. What's one of the worst things you've seen there, prisoner on prisoner?
I think, shit, it was some white dudes actually. These white boys, man. It was a white boy from Baltimore, man. Shout out my homeboy white boy Capo, man, from Baltimore. From Baltimore, man. He had Doug. He got life in prison. Shout out to Capo, man. Free Capo. Uh, he wound up. We was on the yard one day, so one of his homies wound up coming out from the shoe from lockup. He's supposed to bring him out some stuff from lockup, some stamps and some other stuff, right? It never make it to the compound. So the guys is in my unit. We on a rec yard. The guys is in my unit that stole the stuff from the dude Capo. So Capo called me over to the fence. He like, see, come in. I want you to try to find that white boy in your unit because they stole my shit. This, that. Tell him come to the fence real quick. He said, but I'm gonna let you know something. Bet by a bone. That's this, that. Just because of what's going on. Because I don't want none of y'all to be in the way. Y'all got to get out the way. I'm like, all right. He stole my shit. Yada, yada, yada. Bit by a bone. This, that. So I'm like, all right, cool. I called him over. He like, I want you to listen to this conversation of what I'm about to tell him. So I stood a few feet back. I'm listening. I got the homie right there. We just acting like we talking. We listening. He talking to the white boy now. He said, you knew that was my stuff when you came back to the compound. And you knew it was coming to me. And y'all did what y'all wanted with it. Y'all spent my stamps. Y'all party with it. He said, you know what I'm in here for. You know what I'm locked up for. And you know who I am. You know that I'm a killer. Why would you play with me like that? He said, I'm going to give you a choice, though. It was two people that played with him. They was two Sallys. White boy Brandon and a white boy named Dylan. He's talking to Dylan. He said, Dylan, I'm going to give you two options. You can either stab him with this knife or you can hit him with the slap. But you better make it slap. You better make a mess. You better make it bloody. So he telling him this. I look at the white boy Dylan. I look at his face like he looks scared as shit, pale. Face turned pale. Cause he ain't never done nothing like that. He just trying to do his time and get on. But he got himself wrapped up in some stuff that he can't get out of. And like I said, Dylan was no match for. They was in two different cars. These two white boys, they wasn't in the same car either. And he was no match for Capo and his white boys. So he like, which one you gonna choose? He chose the lock. He threw the lock over the gate. Threw it over the gate. Dylan grabbed the lock. So I'm like, damn, it's about to go down. This, that. So I let my homies know, bit by boom, get your ice, get your water ready. We about to go on lockdown. Like, tighten up. You feel me? And they probably searched this much. They probably hit the unit after this. You feel me? So tighten everything up. So nothing happened that night. We go back in, rec move, finish. Everybody on point though. Next day come around, doors pop, 6 in the morning in the penitentiary. 6 in the morning, you better be up in the penitentiary when them doors pop. You don't be sleeping after 6. And when them doors pop, be up, have your shoes on, be ready to hit the compound. So the doors pop, I'm out in the day room. I'm at the TV. I see Dylan come down. My old head, he coming from the hot water pot. He got a cup of coffee. So I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't see Brandon up. You feel me? I don't know where he at. So I'm like, damn, you probably let him know something or something. I see Brandon come out, putting his shirt on, come down the steps, go straight to the computer. So I'm like, oh shit, there you go right there. So he get on the computer, he on the computer. I see Dylan come down. Brandon don't even know what's happening because he got his back turned. And he walk up to Brandon. He got the lock in a sock and whatever else in his sock. I know it's for a fact it's a lock in it though. I don't know what else he got in his sock. Cock back, boom, boom, boom. Get to wham him out. When I say wham him out, blood was all over the horseshoe, the computers, splashed by the officer room, all that. It was like one of the most horrific scenes I've seen. But shit, like when I say he ain't stopped, he told him not to stop till the police came. Dylan ain't stopped till the police came. 9 months later, when I was getting transferred out of Beaumont, like 10 months later, Brandon still had 2 black eyes and a ring around his nose, like permanent black eyes. Dylan messed him up so bad. Like when I see this dude was so bloody, like he still had 2 black eyes 9, 10 months later, something I never seen before.
Like prison, do you feel like seeing that type of shit affected you mentally and emotionally?
Yeah, but no, I didn't see some stuff. But it definitely affected me. It definitely affected me. I don't expect how they expect us. I don't see how they expect us to enter society back normal after seeing things like that or going through certain situations like that. It's like survival of the fittest.
You are
So
free.
yeah,
You are free. See, you're free. How long you been
yeah.
free again? A couple years, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I know you said you had some kids. What's your life like now? What are you doing with your life, man?
My life is pretty good. I'm working. Shit, I got a clothing line called Rich Rebels. Uh, I'm just about building, man. Building. I'm trying to build generational wealth. I'm just trying to build up. And like I say, keep this thing going, man. Build my name up, create some generational wealth, create some revenue, like build my assets, and network.
Keeps you out of prison, man. I mean, I know you're involved, BGF, you're out there getting money. It's not always easy to return to society when you're used to getting real money, right? And now you got to work hard and stack your little bit of paper until you get to the point where you're like, you can do
It's
something
definitely
bigger.
not the same. It's a lot slower, but slow money better than no money.
And again, man, slow money better than no money. Say that one more time.
Slow money better than no money.
And if they don't realize, they better realize it, right?
Yes, sir.
Or you could be working in the kitchen for the rest of your life, like Mike at a dropout yard, making
Yeah,
25 cents an hour, making
yeah,
maybe $25 a month, right?
yeah. That's for the birds, man. Ain't no way I could put myself back through that, man. I
For
went
sure.
down Canaan. After I left the smooth program, I wound up going down Canaan USP. Canaan, I came home from Canaan. Canaan was a cool compound. It was just strict there. They just had a lot of lockdowns there. And it was just it wasn't it wasn't like Beaumont. I would say Beaumont, it was a little bit more freedom down there, but it wasn't like Beaumont.
Canaan put them bolts on after the cop got killed, man. They weren't playing that shit no more.
Right. Yep. You're
But,
right.
but anyway, man, I appreciate you coming on. Before we get ready to go, man, what would you say to a young dude in Baltimore right now out there trying to get money? Or one of them dudes, man, think, you know what, I'm going to be loyal to this dude right here, and I'm going to kill one of these dudes out here in the street for him and end up with a life sentence. What would you say to a dude like that?
I would say, man, just think twice. Think about what you do before you do it. You know, everything don't gotta be instant gratification isn't a must. Instant gratification is a slow killer, I would say. Like uh anything worth having is hard getting. That's what I would like to say. Anything worth having is hard getting, man. And that includes a peace of mind or anything you want. You gotta work for it. You gotta really want it.
Listen, man, I hope that, I hope that resonates with someone. I hope someone thinks like, you know what, man, just listen to that dude's story, all the shit he's been through, been stabbed. And, another dude, man, thought he was a tough guy with a life sentence, really wasn't all that tough because there's always someone tougher than you. Dude ties him up. Man, I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to be in a cell tied up because, you know what, I'm in a cell with a dude that's 6'4" and I'm 5'11". You know what I'm saying? 5'10", 5'11". And dude can overpower me. But anyway, man, I appreciate you coming on, man, sharing your story, sharing your experiences. We'll get ready to close the show, man. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you, man, for your time. Thank you for your time and your patience, man. Hopefully we can get back together and, get some more content.
Maybe we'll do a part 2. Listen, man, I appreciate you. I'm going to tell people, if you like what we're doing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really live the shit that people talk about, man.
Yes, sir.
Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.